Welcome back to Eliances Heroes, where heroes in business align. To be part of our super community and find out more about Eliances, visit www.Eliances.com. Now, back to our super host, David Kogan, founder of Eliances.
That's right. We're going to continue to unlock really the secrets. I mean, we just heard from Sheldon Bailey, right? The guy is in a gazillion TV, movies, and he's like on all these national commercials. I mean, he's the one that played the body double for LeBron James in NBA 2K, so a lot of activity going on. And thank you, too, for the feedback we continue to receive from having the founder of North Face on. Make sure you go to Eliances.com. That's Eliances.com, the only place where entrepreneurs align. Well, let me talk to you about our next hero. Truly amazing because he is doing something of helping people build wealth and time freedom. Because again, who wants more time? Well, everybody. And he's going to help share some of those secrets. He is the VP of Compliance and Infrastructure at Direct Source Wealth. And you can go to directsourcewealth.com/hero. And when you go to that link, you're going to see something really cool. So with us is Dave Grimm. Dave, talk to us, though, about what you do to create really that whole DSW, Direct Source Wealth, client experience.
David, I was fortunate to be charged literally very early in my career with Direct Source Wealth with creating the infrastructure necessary to have the clients come back over and over again. I loved that mission, and part of that mission for me became a 10-year focus. I'm not looking for a client per se. I am looking for the relationship. The term for our funding team is called relationship manager for a reason. And that starts with a great conversation. That starts with a little bit of education out on the internet where people can grab some information and start learning about us. That starts with being able to have access to the right people and the right tools to make really well-informed decisions. And it goes forward into a full review of your risk tolerances. Are you looking to create monthly income cash flow? Are you 20 years from retirement and need to build a larger portfolio so that you can have the cash flow down the road? How are you balanced in that approach? Are you diversified into enough markets and into enough asset types? These are all part of the initial conversations that both myself and our relationship managers have with Direct Source Wealth.
And, you know, the thing is in today's world, security, I mean, everybody wants, they want, physical security, and they also want financial security. So how do you, though, go about, working with your clients and having Direct Source Wealth provide that security in today's world?
There's so many aspects of security in that question. The first aspect is systems and infrastructure. The system and infrastructure is secured at bank level security. You have, password access, limited access to things like ACH and tracking numbers. That extends to the security, and I hesitate to use the word, but most of the Direct Source Wealth investments are secured by real estate. They're not secured by the figment of somebody's imagination on Wall Street. There is a physical location that you can go see. That security extends back into the relationship. Again, I come back to that over and over again because the relationship is the core of Direct Source Wealth. And that security extends to having those conversations and having people understand that when I'm on the phone with them, I'm going to delve deeper. I'm going to have the conversation about, are you balanced? Are you over here? Are you over here? Have you considered this? What about this bucket of money over here? Maybe it's only performing at 6% and you need to move it into something that's more lucrative. That security goes even farther to understand that if I'm taking a personal interest in you, that is the comfort level, that is the dedication, that is the focus of Direct Source Wealth. And our co-investors all have that experience.
And I love how you use, again, the co-investors. You're, right along. It's, it's together. We're in this project together. And I mean, that's phenomenal. And again, we're talking with Dave Grimm, the Senior VP of Compliance at Direct Source Wealth. Make sure you go to directsourcewealth.com/hero or call them at 877-756-8323 because you're listening to me, David Kogan, host of the Eliances Hero Show, the only place where entrepreneurs align. Make sure you go to Eliances.com. That's Eliances.com. Now, Dave, Direct Source Wealth is it's doing a lot, and I'm sure there's a lot of things that are coming up. Can you share with us some of the things that are on the horizon?
I could. All right. Absolutely, David.
I'm going to twist your arm.
All right. So there's a couple of very exciting things happening at Direct Source Wealth. From a systems and infrastructure perspective, we have been focused on creating a better platform for the clients to get paid. And I'm very excited to announce that that has been a approximately 8-month project to implement that structure, deal with the banks that were necessary. But that means that when the distributions go out, the clients can see it in their bank account automatically. And one system that tracks the investments and the other system that handles the distributions are all tied together. They are no longer separate systems that rely on talking with each other. And even to that extent, we moved away from people having to manipulate those systems several months ago. So it's becoming a more automated, more streamlined process, and we're going to be rolling that out over the next 3 months.
That's huge. I mean, that's just, it's great, and it's great to hear and stuff. How does a client know that it's a fit for them to work with Direct Source Wealth? What things should a potential client be looking at?
The clients that we work with typically are first generation made good. A lot of them have a lower net worth on the accredited investor spectrum. They're typically net worth between 1 and 10 million, and they went out and did it themselves. I'm thinking of a leader in the military who started investing on the side. He developed his own business. He developed his own model and became the success that he was. And at some point, this is the more direct answer to your question, at some point he realized that handling that on an active investment level was more than he wanted to deal with. Answering tenant calls, building or fixing garbage disposal, scraping popcorn ceilings, exploding toilets. All of these things that you deal with on an active level get old really fast. Our investors are looking for a passive income lifestyle. They're looking for that time freedom so that they can go out and do things with their family, so that they can go out and do things with their causes, and so that they can spend the time, the very short amount of time that we have on this earth, the most effective way possible. A lot of our clients have a much higher purpose in what they do.
I mean, you touch the heart when you talk about the whole thing of time freedom, and that is really just so critical, because if you're not doing it full time, these things have got to be watched. You got to make sure that everything is done, and things go wrong because it's a property. I mean, things are going to happen and stuff. So to have someone that's watching it all the time, that's huge. So make sure again you go to Direct Source Wealth, your partner in building wealth and time freedom. Go to directsourcewealth.com/hero or call them at 877-756-8323. Now, we've got a little less than a minute left, but you have the word compliance in your title. Tell me what compliance means to you.
Compliance is twofold. Obviously, there's a federal guidelines to what we do. We absolutely have to be in line with what SEC and FINRA guidelines are. But to me, compliance always started with taking care of the client first. And if you do that, and if you do it from the right perspective and you do it for the right reasons, it's hard to not be compliant with federal standards, because you are putting the clients first, putting the co-investors first, and delivering the ultimate experience possible.
Fantastic. Well, again, stay tuned, because when we come back, we're going to have Dave Grimm again on, going into further deep dive, really learning about some of the projects and different things that are going on. Reach him at directsourcewealth.com/hero. This is David Kogan with Eliances.
Welcome back to Eliances Heroes, where heroes in business align. To be part of our super community and find out more about Eliances, visit www.Eliances.com. Now, back to our super host, David Kogan, founder of Eliances.
You know, I think if there's one thing you could wish for, well, actually two things. More time and then more money to be able to do different things with that time. And our next hero, Dave Grimm, who is the VP of Compliance at Direct Source Wealth, well, yeah, he's going to help educate us on exactly how to get those two. So make sure you go to directsourcewealth.com/hero or 877-756-8323, because it's all about heroes and learning the secrets. So, Dave, let's talk about your investment fund that you have. How does that work?
We are focused on building what I would to be considered the most diverse real estate investment fund available. I know everybody calls it an opportunistic fund, and so did we. But the fund goes out, and it's got a twofold purpose right now. It takes advantage of immediate offers that are out there. The whole reason the fund got started in the first place was that there was an apartment complex over on Camelback that had a second mortgage that was about to go into foreclosure, and the guy that held the note wanted to know if we wanted the property. And at this time, with Direct Source Wealth in history, we were only doing what I call a la carte style investing, where we would put together a deal, we would put together the underwriting, we would put together the legal, and then we would announce the deal. And that process takes anywhere from 90 to about 120 days. It's not flexible. And this deal comes up over on Camelback, and they're like, well, if you can invest in it in the next 2 weeks, you're going to have anywhere from a 40 to a 100% profit margin on it, because the second position investment was only a couple of $1 million, and the potential of taking over a non-performing property and turning it into a performing property, either for a short-term 1 to 3 year project or a typical buy and hold strategy, was absolutely amazing. The bottom line was we didn't move that fast, and in hindsight, the fund was born.
Now, explain to me what it means as far as co-investor and stuff. How does that work? How many people am I investing with in the project? How does it work working with you as the co-investor?
Co-investor was coined by our CEO, Kira, as a guideline of our business. We walk the talk. We walk the walk. We talk the talk. And we are right there aligning our interests with our clients. Almost every one of the senior personnel at Direct Source Wealth has personal money invested in our transactions. This is leading from the front. This is a true alignment of interest. I'm not throwing a deal out to the public that I don't believe in. In Direct Source Wealth, the fund invests in most of our deals. Obviously, it came along a little later, so it's not in all of them. But that is the alignment. The co-investor means that. Sure, some of the deals have 20, 30 investors in them. and those are all relationship-based investing. But that's just the structure of the deal, so that people who wouldn't be able to take advantage of these 10 and 15 and $20 million opportunities can get in on them.
Describe some of the projects that are there. Describe just maybe sizes and maybe location, just in general, what the projects are.
Our bread and butter project is value add multifamily in the mid cap space, $5 to $20 million. Typical example of that is the project that we just sold in Phoenix. It was originally acquired on a 5-year plan as a buy, reposition, and hold for that period of time. But the market in Phoenix turned on us for the better, and we realized the potential to create an immediate value for our investors. At the end of the day, in a 16-month window, that project generated a 36% return for the investors that got in on day one.
That's phenomenal.
Now, I want to caveat that really quick. This is possibly an atypical example of what returns could be, but it was set up to be originally averaging an 8 to a 10% cash flow with an equity upside down the road.
And again, we're talking with Dave Grimm. He is the Senior VP of Compliance. You could reach him at directsourcewealth.com/hero. directsourcewealth.com/hero. Call him at 877-756-8323 because you're listening to me, David Kogan, host of the Eliances Hero Show, the only place where entrepreneurs align. So make sure you go to Eliances.com. That's Eliances.com. Now, with the various projects that you do have going on, how do I know which one is best for me to invest in? And am I able to kind of put money into different buckets, so to speak, or different properties?
Absolutely. So there's a couple of different ways that you can decide that. I deal with a number of experienced real estate investors, and they've got their own strategies, and some of them are very deal-centric. They look for a certain return on a certain type of project, and that's what they invest in. But the ideal client is looking at strategy. They're looking at how much do I need in cash flow over the next 5 years? How big is my portfolio going to be? Where is that net worth increase going to come from? And am I invested in enough different companies and enough different projects so that if one of them does go sideways, I can still hit my goals? Those are the conversations. Those go back to the relationship. And those are my favorite conversations. Those are my favorite investors to work with. Those are my favorite. Everything about this job that drives me forward comes from those conversations.
And what kind of profession? What are the professions, the backgrounds, that of the clients that you work with?
Oh, it's across the board. Obviously, white collar professions that pay a couple $100,000 a year typically are the primary source of investors. But I have other investors who've achieved accredited investor status even while being teachers or other jobs that aren't considered to be normally high paying. Policemen up in the North Pacific Northwest, for example. Everyone has the ability to create that time freedom for themselves. And whether that roadmap involves direct source wealth today, tomorrow, next week, next month, or 3 years from now, those are the conversations I want to have, because if I'm helping you, sooner or later, you're going to remember me.
Absolutely. Well, again, go to directsourcewealth.com/hero. Dave, you help your clients at Direct Source Wealth really co-invest with confidence, knowing that you're on constant watch, keeping their investment safe and growing. I mean, that's very important. That's a hero. Dave Grimm from Direct Source Wealth, 877-756-8323. This is David Kogan with Eliances. And when we return, we have a very special guest who has a huge announcement to make. Can't wait. David Kogan with Eliances.
Welcome back to Eliances Heroes, where heroes in business align. To be part of our super community and find out more about Eliances, visit www.Eliances.com. Now, back to our super host, David Kogan, founder of Eliances.
That's right. We're back, and we're lucky because we've got Dave Grimm, Senior VP with Compliance, still with us. You can go to Direct Source Wealth. Go reach him at directsourcewealth.com/hero or call him at 877-756-8323 because we're continuing our track of how do we get more time and more money. So thank you, Dave.
Thank you, David.
So we've got in the studio another person here that happened to appear, and very exciting and stuff. So tell me, who is she and why is she here?
Well, David, we've talked about our investment fund in the past, and the fund is diversified in a number of different ways, but one of the ways that it wasn't diversified was single-family acquisitions. Truly, to make a diverse real estate fund, it should have a normal house that everyone can associate with. We've been exploring the concept of local area operator for a couple of years at this point, and I am pleased and proud to announce the first joint venture with a local area operator, this lovely young lady named Jaques.
Wow, Ann. All right, so Ann, tell us about yourself, and then we'll go into more about what you do.
Thanks, David. It's wonderful to be here. First of all, I'd really like to say how excited I am to be the newest addition to the team at Direct Source Wealth. I actually come from a long line of entrepreneurs. My grandparents, my parents, two of my sisters are all business owners. So growing up in a family of entrepreneurs has really taught me the value of working hard and having that work ethic and pursuing my vision. And so on a professional side, I actually started working at the age of 5. Don't tell anyone.
Wow.
So I don't want to get my grandparents in trouble. My corporate background, though, is mainly consisted of operations and logistics at a major retailer. My background on the real estate side, I actually used to flip properties. I no longer do that because I found that as exciting and fun and hardworking as that was, it actually wasn't aligning itself to the vision that I had for my future and for what I was looking to do with my clients and with my co-investors as well, as Direct Source Wealth calls them.
Now, how did you then get involved? And by the way, too, they're both part of Eliances community, the place where entrepreneurs align. In fact, Ann, share with us what the experience has been like with you being part of Eliances.
My experience with Eliances is unmatched by any other association that I've ever had. The level of experience and the heart that people bring to that room every single week it's just stellar.
Have you ever experienced more energy in any other room?
Absolutely not, no.
And then how did this come together with you and Dave Grimm, part of, again, Direct Source Wealth? You can go to directsourcewealth.com/hero or call them at 877-756-8323. How did that relationship start? Did you guys meet at Eliances?
We actually did. So a few months back it's about a year now. We were all sitting in the room, and as Eliances, the whole concept is where entrepreneurs align. So what we're looking to do there is to share ideas, share that knowledge, share the experiences that we have to help each other grow and develop. And the relationship that I've been able to develop with Direct Source Wealth, specifically Dave, is that we continue to align our needs and wants and the focuses that we have toward our clientele. And we started having discussions around the needs of our co-investors, and that's really where it started, is just having that alignment.
And you both are so passionate about what you do and dedicated to the client service. It's no surprise. It really isn't, because you both really truly align. And again, you're listening to me, David Kogan, host of the Eliances Hero Show. Make sure you go to Eliances.com. That's Eliances.com. The only place, really, where entrepreneurs align. So you want to get motivated? Want more time? More money? Well, then continue to stay tuned, because, again, we've got Jaques. That's right. Ann, she is a partner with DSW. She's partnered with she's the local area operator. And again, you can reach her at directsourcewealth.com/hero. So Ann, tell us a little bit more too of what sets you apart though from other single family investment businesses, which by the way, you've got a ton of experience in.
Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate that. There's actually a few different things that I would say that really set what it is that I do apart from a lot of the other single family investors out there. The first thing that I would say, and this is a phrase that I've actually coined over the last couple of years, is we do renovations versus renovations. So a lot of individuals out there go in and they're putting in, granite countertops and they're redoing the entire interior. You don't know who's going to be moving into the home. So now I'm dictating what the current market may or may not want in that particular environment. So we go in and we actually do renovations. Because of economies of scale, we can go in and we can do everything a lot lower cost on a very large scale. So it actually reduced the cost across the entire board. So we end up doing these renovations versus the renovations reduces the cost of our entry into these individual properties.
You know so much about this.
Which in turn creates a better value for DSW because we're maximizing the available return on capital that we've put into the single family project. It creates a better experience for us as co-investors with Ann, and ultimately makes DSW stronger because it delivers a consistent and predictable cash flow to the opportunistic fund over a 10-year time period.
And are you just like jumping out of your skin being so excited now to be able to work with the Direct Source Wealth and partnering with them?
I absolutely am. When Dave originally approached me and said, hey, we'd really like to start having these conversations around what we can do to work together to help their co-investors, I said, yeah, let's have these conversations. We continue to have these conversations over many months. And what I found is that they were vetting many different individuals as well, which I was not even privy to. I didn't realize that I was in a competition.
Hundreds.
So,
but, I mean, that's amazing. So then what was the final thing of we need to work together and it's a match?
I really felt as though, I think it was probably, for me, it was probably the first coffee that we sat down and had a lot of discussion. I mean, we both have an extensive background in understanding of economics. That's my undergrad education is in economics, more so to the entrepreneurial side versus a lot of the other types of economics. Anyways, so we really started having these discussions and really figured out that we had such an alignment already. So for the current investors I already had, and the alignment that DSW has with their co-investors.
And then Dave, to explain to me then a little bit more about why the match is there and how it's going to help by having a local area operator.
I'd like to take and run a little bit with what Ann just said first, because one of the key reasons we picked Ann, from a strategic and a tactical perspective, there's always an exit plan. A lot of investment companies do not have an exit plan. Ann came to us on day one knowing how to get into the right investment and how to get out of it. Second, we invest in people. We invest in heart. We invest in the commitment necessary to deliver under difficult circumstances. I personally was able to witness and do that on numerous occasions. It set her apart from anybody I've ever had the opportunity to vet.
That's phenomenal. Phenomenal. All right. Now, Ann, we've got a little less than a minute left, and I have to ask you about this person because I know it's a secret, but we need to share this with our radio listeners, and I think it's very important stuff. I want to know what Winston Churchill, now listen up, what Winston Churchill has to do with you.
Well, my lineage through Winston Churchill is actually through my grandfather, and it's just a really cool thing that I can actually share with people is that we have that lineage within my family.
That's absolutely phenomenal. Well, you may have the opportunity to meet Ann, Jaques, and Dave Grimm at one of the Eliances experience, so make sure you go to Eliances.com, Eliances.com. Direct Source Wealth, your partner in building wealth and time freedom. Learn more, go to directsourcewealth.com. Eliances.com/hero or call them at 877-756-8323. This is David Kogan with Eliances.
You have been listening to Eliances Heroes, where heroes in business align. Eliances is the destination for entrepreneurs, investors, CEOs, inventors, leaders, celebrities, and startups. To present your superpower, visit www.eliances.com.